What's up, guys? So here's the deal. I'm on winter break and I've had some free time to finally catch up on the 20 or so chapters of Fairy Tail I fell behind in when school started. Now here's the thing. I'm almost caught up. Turns out I might be even farther behind. Maybe 30 chapters behind. But now I'm at 355. The latest chapter is 365. And I'm going through this, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, and I'm having a disconnect here. And the thing is, I'm wondering whether to drop Fairy Tail. There have been other YouTube artists, I was gonna say artists, but they're also reviewers, and yeah, I'm just gonna reference who I'm talking about. King of Lightning. He has like 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. He dropped Fairy Tail, and he was a very prominent reviewer. So every one of his Fairy Tail review videos got a lot of views, thousands of views. The thing is, here's the thing though. Everything he said, like, his fans always agreed with him because they're his fans. So if he trashed Fairy Tail, most of his fans agreed with him. And so he did. I would say this was about half a year ago, when after about a couple months of constant bashing of Fairy Tail, with the occasional good review, he decided to just give it up. He didn't make an announcement video or anything. He just said, he didn't say anything. He just stopped making the videos. And it was very clear. I remember there's this one chapter, I'm sure you guys who have read up to the latest chapter know what I'm talking about. There's this one sort of mini arc. I think it was during the Coliseum tournament arc. They all go to a water park. And it's funny because Fairy Tail is actually really popular. They actually have a fully animated anime version that is out and up to date. So like almost after that thing came out on in the manga, they made like a full like 2-hour special on that same thing. It was pretty much the same thing, but when it was animated, it was a lot better in certain ways. So here's the thing though. That whole mini arc was just, and I'm going to quote what King of Lightning said, excuse me for cursing, tits and ass, tits and ass, tits and ass. And he just said, that's pretty much, you know how he does like 20-minute video reviews? He put on the camera, said, this is what it is, tits and ass, and then he turned it off. It was like a 30-second review. He was pissed. In certain ways, I don't blame him, and that's the whole thing though. I applaud that guy because the majority of people on the internet who are reading this, as at least what I believe, they're perverts and all they care about is this stuff. And so I respect him in certain factions, in other ways not so much, but in this aspect I do, because he doesn't really care about this sort of stuff. He's not a pervert. If he knows, just like I do, that if you want that stuff, you can watch porn. And it was basically just a lot of teasing, a lot of drawings of these girls. Everything except for their private areas are censored out. I mean, excuse me, everything is uncensored but the private areas. And it's just monotonous, like pages and pages of worth of this. Very well drawn and stuff, but it was kind of like a slap in the face, you know. King of Lightning he reads manga for their plot and action, and if he wants that sort of stuff, he can get it better on YouPorn or wherever. And that's one thing I do want to address. So I stopped Fairy Tail because of school. I got a few comments saying, did you drop it? Did you drop it? And I said, I made a video saying no, it was school. But now I've read a few of the chapters. I was thinking about, you know, revamping it up now that I have time and then doing reviews. But I don't know anymore. What I'm going to do is finish reading and then do a review chapter, but after that I don't know, because of this whole thing. I mean, it's like it's a slap in the face. Like, it's just teasing. Like, this is very, very common in Fairy Tail recently. Like, almost every few chapters, it's like half a chapter worth of just teasing. And by that, it's like usually one of the girls, Lucy or whoever, and they're usually like half naked or completely naked, and it's just, you don't see anything. Well, you see stuff, but all the private parts are censored out, and after a while, it just gets really boring and it's overdone, and it's just like a slap in your face. Like, what is the author trying to tell me that I only enjoy reading this because of this sort of stuff? Which really confuses me, because I'm wondering what type of people actually read this manga. I mean, because it has all this fairly adult sort of content in it. I mean, let's not lie here. Fairy tales, cartoons, and pictures of these girls, there's no way it's G-rated. There's no way, if you ask like a government official or someone who regulates this stuff, if you show them these pictures of these girls they're constantly like almost naked, and like, I mean, in this chapter alone, 355, I mean, there's these pictures, and they're like, it's everything but the nipple and the private part down below that's censored out, and it's very well drawn. They proportion it very well, honestly, probably better than reality, because I mean, chances are you're not even going to see a girl of that sort of bodily feature ever in real life, the boobs and everything. But regardless, it's like, if you show that to a government official, there's no way he'd dub that as suitable for an audience under like 18. So that begs the question, what sort of audience is this manga for? And after thinking it through, and thinking, especially recently, how often the author sort of often the author does this sort of stuff, it's like, does the author really think that his main audience is a bunch of 20-year-old male perverts? And that was like a slap in my face, because I mean, who knows, maybe that is the true audience, and everyone watching this video is like, yep, I'm in that crowd, I'm the male pervert. But from what I've seen, and the other people reviewing the manga, some, not all of them, they're in it for the plot and content and the action. And the biggest incongruence is the fact that there's all this pervertedness, and it's like elementary level. It's like, come on, like, come on. I've seen tits and ass without the censorship already. It's not that big a deal. So for this to constantly come about, it's like, it has to be either playing to a younger audience, maybe teenager years that are younger than me but older than children, who are perverted like that, but also like this sort of, you know, childish, simple theme about it. Because honestly, there's a lot of like simple, childish themes. In the chapter before this, 354, it was all love and compassion and, you know, teamwork, let's go, a very childish theme. Like, I mean, that's not what interests me. I'd like a more complicated, interesting plot like Bleach and stuff. And you guys want an honest review, so I'm giving you one. I'm sure some of you might be offended, but you'd probably want this honest review rather than a fake smile. So it really begs the question, what is this audience geared towards? Maybe just a childish audience that's also perverted, that's in their younger 20s, or maybe a younger audience like teenage years who are slightly perverted but also like a little bit of a story, but also like this sort of childish teamwork, compassion, yay sort of thing. So should I drop Fairy Tail? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. Should I keep going? And more importantly, let me know why you watch Fairy Tail. Do you just watch it for the perverted stuff? If so, like, what's the point? Because you realize that at this point that it's just going to be this constant teasing. You're better off watching porn or getting a real life girlfriend. And if you're interested in that, check out my main channel, which can be found in my in this channel's description. Click my name below and you'll get to my main channel, which talks about dating advice, life advice, confidence, and so forth. That's all I gotta say, and I'd really like to know your opinions because it really boggles my mind. I mean, there's definitely aspects I like about Fairy Tail. It's very well drawn. The girls are very well drawn, but at the same time, it's just so strange. It's too childish and naive and simple. Like this whole idea with, like, for instance, this last chapter 354. If you read it, and I advise you read it again, you'll get the point. It was just so naive. Like, these girls, amazing looking girls, they're just sitting there, they're like talking, they're all fully grown, like they're adults, probably older than me, and they're all sitting there and bathing and saying, you know, we used to do this as children and so forth, and then Natsu and Gray are like annoyed by it. That doesn't happen in real life. It'd get awkward, or there'd be some sort of sexual tension. I'm not gonna lie. So let me know your thoughts. I really don't know about this anymore. It's not worth it. It's gotten old. I hate the teasing more than enjoy it now, because I know it's always just teasing, and it annoys me because it's like, I know these aren't real girls, they're just drawings, and I know it'll never go beyond just this author drawing just teasings of this girl, and the plot is not strong enough or intricate enough or complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be good enough, like solid enough. And the plot so far was just very bland. I mean, they went to this thing, it was frozen, they battled a few things, there's a few mysteries going on, and then they unfroze the village, blah blah blah, and they went about their business. Sure, there's Atlas dragon and so forth, but it was like, the plot wasn't really concrete. It was more just like, meh, Atlas dragon comes, he can't remember anything, he heals the village, and then there's like a dark group that's out and about, but there's never like a ongoing strong plot like Bleach. I can't explain it well, but Bleach is so much more well done in plot. I mean, it's amazing in plot. Toriko too. It's awesome. And this is just like, I feel like it's geared toward a younger audience, because they never get injured or hurt or severely wounded, and no one ever really dies. None of the main characters dies, or there's nothing. Like, even like the biggest fights ever, they just end up like getting healed afterwards, almost immediately, or everyone just gets up. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I really don't know if I want to do this anymore. I honestly would be happy if this manga ended, because then I'd be done with it. Let me know your thoughts. Peace. Oh yes, and I did get into this manga because it was recommended, and it was one of the most popular. So that very well, it boggles my mind as well. And finally, that comment about a King of Lightning, saying there's for certain things I don't like about him, I'd have to take that back. I don't know what I was thinking when I said that. I do have to say, he does seem like someone who's very stubborn in his opinion though, but he definitely knows a lot more about manga specifics than me. Anyhow, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Peace.